What's up, everybody? My name is Nicholas.
And I'm Jacob, and this is the Holt Perspective.
We're back. Week 2 of the semifinals. So glad to be all 5 viewers last week. We gotta get that up, people. Tell your friends, tell your mothers, tell your grandmothers.
Get
Bring
it
it,
all.
get it
Neighborhood.
out. Or yes, the men too. You can tell your dads and your grandpas too. But you gotta get the word out.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into the semifinals and how the first 2 weeks went, we're going to start off the way we always do here at Whole Perspective. Jacob, what was your favorite workout from the past week?
It was a rope climb power clean workout. 5 down to 1 with the rope climbs, 1 up to 5 with the power cleans at 225.
Yep.
Enjoyed that workout, getting practice with the rope climbs and trying to keep my arms fresh as much as I can while doing it.
Now, do you feel like it was more of a power clean workout or a rope climb workout? Like, where do you feel like it was more of?
I think it was a rope climb workout.
225 is not it's not a light barbell.
225 is not light, but with as much of a downfall I have with rope climbs, it was still a rope climb workout for me. I think if people were more even with power clean rope climb, could be more of a power clean workout, but for me it was more of a rope climb workout.
Right. It was still a barbell that you could like anytime pick it up and go.
Yep. What do you got for us?
All right, so my favorite workout from last week kind of just absolutely destroyed me, to be completely honest. It was Diane. So if you guys aren't familiar with Diane, it's 21-15-9, deadlifts at 225, and handstand push-ups. But for this one, we had to then rest 90 seconds and then do it in reverse. So then we had to go 9-15-21, deadlifts at 225, handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
So, in training where you kind of like look at a workout and you're like, there's like 2 ways I can go with this. I can like try to get the best score, or just grip it and rip it and see what happens. Yeah. And I gripped it and ripped it.
All right.
And I ripped it. I died. First 21-59, it was good. I remember getting up to my 9 handstand push-ups, my last 9 of my first round of Diane, and I was like, oh no, I made a mistake. So I was like, I got a whole bunch more.
Yeah, having that second set be in the reverse up.
Yeah, instead of 21 was exhausted.
Yeah, that 21 had to have been terrible.
Yeah, it was miserable. So my my score for each segment, it doubled in the second one. So
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is.
Oh,
I had fun with it. It's always good to test the waters in training, kind of see like if you blow up, it's like who cares?
Right.
So yeah, it was good. So with that, let's get rolling.
Let's do it.
Semifinals. Semifinals. First 2 weeks, we got a whole bunch of people qualified, a whole bunch of people getting their tickets to Madison.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we're going to talk about here is there's plenty of stories we can talk about, all of the X game people not making it. We could all talk about that, but I think we need to get into are the tests, not events.
Not events.
That's okay. I don't. People give it a hard time. I think it's fine. But the tests correct? Are they getting the right people to the CrossFit Games? One word answer: yes, no. Jacob, go.
One word is yes. I think so.
Yes. All right. Expand on your thoughts.
Expand on that is that I think that sometimes with Bosman coming in, creating more of the events and the tests, like. Sometimes he tries to get too fancy with it and get too weird with it and sometimes add pieces that aren't necessarily going to advance the field or going to put something tougher on it because everyone has to deal with it. Like sometimes with that row, if there's not like a specific, you need to get off the row at this time like they did with Jackie last year in the games, like with, I think it was event 6 with the row, rope climbs, pirouettes. That rope is just kind of there, and it wasn't enough to make people tired because they could kind of ease into it and didn't have to everyone just took it the same way. They got on the row and got off the row at pretty much the same time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
So
remember watching what's that guy from Canada? He just qualified. Jack Farlow. Watching him row, like he literally never bent his elbows. I don't think he just leg drove it, and I think he was probably rowing at like a 158 clip, and it was like fine. He did great in the workout.
exactly, like
There's
it.
just like no reason for him to go hard on it.
No,
Nobody would go hard on it. So, what Noah Olson and Will Morad were having like a full blown conversation on the back half of the rower
yeah. So
because they
it's like,
both were cruising and they were gonna like do really well. Like,
hmm
yeah, why was that row there? That's a good question. That's a good question. I think that's a pretty good point there. Like, there's definitely stuff that you look at through these tests of like why were they there? Why was the row there? Why was the 185 barbell there for elite men and 125 for elite female? Like, sure, there were like some people who couldn't touch and go, right? But I'm talking like I watched a lot of the events, and I could count on maybe one hand the amount of people who couldn't touch and go 185.
right. Vast
Couldn't
majority
touch
were
and go
just
125. Like, if you wanted that barbell to mean something, just bump it up 205, 140.
still something
I mean,
that like top guys are going to do it touch and
right.
go.
Like,
Like the strong
yeah,
guys got it.
no one has to worry about Brett Fikowski touch and going
Mm-hmm.
205. But guys that are like on the bubble, that would affect them a lot
Right.
more, and it would affect the females too. 140 instead of 120. No one had trouble with 125 barbell.
No. And that kind
So
of same thing with the sandbag of like people are just kind of picking it up and walking with it.
right,
Like,
right,
all right, I got to bring this along with me, but it's
right.
not, it's just there.
Right, right. Yes, I agree. I think that, yeah, with that sandbag, like they wanted it to be like a really fun finish,
Hmm.
but it either like wasn't heavy enough or like I don't know exactly what. Like, it's tough because I get what they want to do, but it didn't really like everyone picked it up, everyone walked with it, and everyone finished the workout like that. Like it was all one on the bike and the toes to bar. Like if you could hold
Right.
the toes to bar, you were pretty good. A lot of people kind of wrestle with like, oh, they think that like it was only a bike workout. I think it was a toes to bar workout too. Like you saw guys like, I mean, you go back to like Bailey Rail, and she's not a powerhouse on the bike, but she was able to keep all 60 toes to bar unbroken, and not many females were able to do that. And she came in third in her semifinal. Like the
That
toes
was
to
huge.
bar were important at the end of the day for that workout. The bike definitely was important too. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
But if you want to say like, yeah, there's definitely some questions of like, why were certain things there?
What about you with your one word answer? Did the right people get to the games?
My one word answer is yes as well. I agree. Like, there's definitely like you can always pick big time with different things, but I also like to think of like both sides of it and be like, okay, we did all the big strong athletes go, did all the gymnastic athletes go, um, but it wasn't like sure like it seems like a trend of like the bigger stronger athlete went, but Danny Spiegel didn't go.
True.
Um, You look at, I bet if you look at that max snatch workout, there were some guys who snatched really big weights that didn't go.
I
Uh,
mean, you got Tudor Mag in the West, Tudor
Peter
Magna,
Magna
Anthony
didn't go.
Davis did not go.
Anthony Davis didn't go. Maybe questionably the strongest, biggest athlete in CrossFit right now didn't go.
Yeah. Gee did
So
not make it, right? So,
he didn't make it, right? I mean, goodness, that guy eats barbells.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. You can't use the argument that all the big, strong athletes go because I don't know if that's true.
No.
Um, so yeah, I think that people can always pick and say blah blah blah. It looks like the big strong athlete should like have advantage, which I'm sure they did. But at the same time, there's a lot of big strong athletes that did not go.
Right.
I mean, you look at the last workout in the West and that Chloe Wilson. She's one of like the biggest, strongest athletes. Hannah Black. She She put 230 over her head as a
Right.
female. It's insane.
Impressive.
She didn't go. She couldn't handle and the last workout was supposedly be like a bike workout, and they just like basically you can put them on a scale, and whoever's the heaviest will have that.
Not true.
Bailey Railway is like a feather, and she came in third. So I don't know. You can't say that it was the big strong athlete when the numbers and looking at like who made it, some really really big strong athletes did not go. So I would say overall the right people got to the CrossFit Games. They were not as CrossFitty, OG CrossFitty. There was no chipper,
No.
which was interesting. I guess you can call the down and back chipper, right? I guess,
Okay.
but not really.
No.
So that was interesting. So
Might make the games interesting. Might have more things up their sleeves to get more of like the stronger athlete in it, and now test them in more of a
right,
gymnastic setting. Like I don't know.
right. I would say one thing that I would say about the test was I don't think that there was a great test of just straight pure aerobic capacity.
No, you didn't really have to have aerobic capacity to do well.
Like even in that first workout, if you could move that sled well, that was the name of the game for the first
Right.
workout. And I hate to say this, and people might get really mad at me, all you 5 viewers out there, but bring the torque tank back.
Right.
The torque tank is the only sled, the only thing that is fair across all the lanes. They might look weird. Everyone says they're like not needed and they don't do anything and blah 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 blah. You might be right, but the torque tank is on a wheel. You can control how fast the wheel goes, make it longer, make it shorter, make people be on the rope longer, whatever.
Right.
The torque tank is fair for every lane. It doesn't matter what the surface is, where you're at, it's fair. So the
True.
torque tank needs to come back. People might
That
get
was
mad about that.
interesting. They talked about they wanted all semifinals to be the same this year.
Fair. I mean, you look at Oceania and North America East and West and Africa, it was like something crazy, like 95% of the Oceania, that's probably exaggeration, but a ton of people in Oceania finished it, and like you look at the other semifinals and no girl was finishing it. There was like 10 out of 60 girls that finished it in North America East and West.
Right.
We're
Just because
like
the rubber was
Oceania,
softer you're there.
because the floor was different. So yeah, you and then that throws you back to like, if you're okay with the sled being different, why not like make the 800-meter run for Test 5 different in every semifinal? That'd been so much more fun.
It would have been
Much more
fun
to watch.
running around, no doubt.
But yeah, but once again, it was. I think that the tests were good overall. They got the right guys to the games, the right girls to the games. The big strong athlete probably was a little favored. Not crazy favored though.
Crazy though.
You had to be really fit. You had to have good skills. You had to be able to handle the rings, unless you're Sydney Wells, which was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You see Sydney Wells, she didn't get one ring complex, or maybe just one ring muscle up. And she had enough to go to the CrossFit Games.
Still made it.
That's impressive. That is
Doesn't happen too often.
No, she came like 58th place and came back and went. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I think that I'm excited to see the last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks, and then head into the games.
There's going to be some exciting finishes, just like there always is, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. See who else is left out.
Yes, there will be.
Big names left out. So
see if there's any more to add to the list.
Nobody's safe.
All right, people.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap.
Until next time.
Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.